Hello, I'm Laurel Ruma, Editorial Director of MIT Technology Review's Custom Content Division. I'm excited to be here with you presenting original research which we conducted in partnership with Oracle that explores how organizations around the world conduct strategic planning, particularly in light of the pandemic. The pandemic has forced businesses to reevaluate their strategic enterprise planning. Many have looked from cloud adoption, scenario modeling, connected enterprise planning, and artificial intelligence to recover from the pandemic's disruptions and boost productivity, innovation, and agility. Companies are still coping with residual pandemic challenges, like bringing employees back to the office. McKinsey's flow-to-work operating model emphasizes reskilling in conjunction with three key trends. One, with the increase in automation and digitization, candidates with skills that are high in demand are even more difficult to find. Two, a company must be able to respond quickly to changing and uncertain conditions. And three, flexibility is key. Although challenges do still remain, many organizations haven't yet devised clear strategies to keep up with evolving competition across industries. Companies are adapting to the pandemic landscape that are pursuing greater changes to keep pace with the digital transformation and new consumer habits. However, opportunity abounds for those enterprises that are making greater changes. Consider this. McKinsey also says that of the $600 billion cloud market, 95% of the value will be in business-related functions. Enterprises need to think of cloud adoption as a transition with enormous business value, not just an IT shift. In late 2020, MIT Technology Review Insights, in partnership with Oracle, published a global research survey report called Collaborative Planning in an Uncertain World. Our report was based on survey research and in-depth executive interviews. We surveyed 860 senior executives and directors from across the finance, human resources, IT, supply chain and logistics industries. We had 4 primary takeaways. Successful companies are adopting a connected enterprise planning approach. Technology is seen as a useful aid in planning endeavors. Our third takeaway was that some organizations are more welcoming to technology than others. Most importantly, planning is an all-hands-on-deck effort. Our research showed that 74% of respondents expected connected enterprise planning, which combines financial, operational, and workforce planning with cloud-based Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, and prescriptive analytics to improve collaboration and decision-making. As a result of the pandemic, 55% of organizations are accelerating cloud adoption. However, some companies are lagging behind in technology in several ways, from keeping HR and finance data in separate silos to foregoing connected enterprise systems in favor of spreadsheets. All business departments have a part to play in planning for future success, including HR and supply chain. Finance is the glue that bonds them. In our research, 62% of companies perform some type of scenario modeling as part of the planning process to identify, counter, or respond to future uncertainties. We found that one serious challenge to better collaboration and scenario planning is data silos. Company culture, technology, organizational processes, and privacy concerns may limit or discourage data sharing. And that can cause duplicative efforts and installation of data flow. 25% of respondents report that the data needed for enterprise planning is still locked in silos and stored in different formats. Companies have another challenge, though. Spreadsheets. Too often, spreadsheets are pushed beyond their limits. Real-time updates are difficult, and they're vulnerable to errors. 20% of all survey respondents report that their organizations still use manual spreadsheets for general planning and modeling activities. Lastly, tech skills remain a challenge. For people to engage with each other productively and efficiently, everyone needs to level up. In some organizations, the skills perceived as most in demand are data visualization, artificial intelligence and machine learning, and interpersonal skills. It always comes back to people. So, moving forward, to get that flow to work, return to normal, organizations are using multiple types of workforce planning. Many adopt an approach of strategic workforce planning, examining required skills, competencies, and costs. Or they're putting their attention on financial planning, such as headcount costs. Take, for example, Baylor University in Texas. Baylor has 19,000 students, and in the spring of 2020, when the pandemic hit, they were in the middle of moving finance systems to Oracle Cloud ERP. Baylor was able to succeed with their cloud implementation for 3 primary reasons. 1, everyone was at home, and they were forced into new ways of working. The cloud implementation team focused on communicating with users, training, and understanding their concerns. Teamwork. Before the rollout, finance, IT, and HR were already working closely together. And when you can, you should rely on a little help from your friends. A famous alumni was able to join them on launch day. Baylor released a video promoting the new system, featuring Baylor alum Angela Kinsey, who plays the fictional character Angela, who's the head of accounting, in the US version of the television show The Office. Before the pandemic, organizations had looked to cloud computing for cost efficiency and to free up IT resources. But working remotely accelerated cloud adoption. It allowed employees access to critical tools and data that could previously only be accessed with on-site IT personnel. Our survey showed that artificial intelligence and machine learning have gained the trust of large companies worldwide. Specifically, 58% of organizations include AI and machine learning capabilities into their planning systems and processes. This adoption is seen mostly in the Americas and predominantly in the financial services industry, where 96% use AI and machine learning features. We also found that there are 3 common ways for the planning process to be managed, with roughly equal instances of use in the survey. 1, each department uses one common connected platform. 2, finance does the overall planning, asking each department to submit fixed planning templates. And 3, finance owns the planning process, requiring departments to input their plans into the system. Separate financial and HR management systems are a solid example of unnecessary business silos. But the intersection points are important because each HR objective is tied to finance. For example, revenue targets, budgets, employee costs, employee performance. Data needs to be consistent, accessible, and accurate. Strategic initiatives, the ones that define an organization's future, get corporate executives' attention. For example, in the early days of the pandemic, Seguros Monterrey New York Life's HR team developed about 60 alternatives for scenarios to then be able to prioritize what must be done under any circumstance. As we come to a new year and continue to grapple with the effects of the pandemic, organizations must develop their own effective enterprise strategies shaped by the demands of digital transformation and evolving customer needs. By prioritizing cloud adoption and becoming more data mature, organizations can reap benefits from manufacturing to IT to customer experience. The road to recovery from COVID-19 is still evolving, and organizations that embrace uncertainty and look to the future with robust strategies are poised to thrive. Thank you.